Good morning, everyone. Hey, Pat, how are you? So as you all come in, you are automatically muted. If you'd like to speak, you'll need to unmute your microphone, which is down on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. So if you'd like
there we go.
There you are, yeah, hello. We'll ask you during the presentation to keep it muted unless you have a question to ask, and you can still keep it muted unless, and you can also down there, you'll see one that says chat. You can click on the chat feature and type it in. We have a few of us that'll be monitoring the chat. If we're not getting to it, missing it, and you have an urgent question, unmute yourself and ask it. Katie will be our moderator today. I set up the meeting, so I guess I'm hosting it, but I will not be the moderator today. She's just finishing up looking at all the questions that came in last night. She's just finishing up a couple things, and then she will jump on and we will get started. Hope you are all excited. I'm doing great because I'm at Disneyland. So, oh, I was going to show, I'm going to share my screen just to make sure these things start working. So give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Thumbs up if you see an actual screen, thumbs down if it's just black. Here we go. Thumbs up, thumbs down. If it's just black, give me a thumbs down.
There it goes. Now I can see it.
Here, a few people are able to see it. Most aren't yet. I'm gonna put it onto my Seesaw page. Okay, if you can see my Seesaw page. Any luck there? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay. It's not on everyone's yet, but we're getting there. It's the middle of the week. How we doing? Week 2. I guess one full weekend. We've now accomplished one full week of this. Is everyone surviving? Everyone good? Yeah, we're 3 minutes from the official start time, and then we'll probably give it a couple minutes for a few stragglers to get on. So we'll probably officially start in about 5 minutes from now. So if you want to unmute and just chat away, go for it. Until then.
Hi, Doreen. Can you hear me? Hi, Linda. Are there only 4 of us?
At the moment, I'm sure more will join in. I was getting alerts from other people trying to get in earlier.
Oh, good.
If you want to unmute, I see that you're trying to do that. If you move your mouse, let me get on my screen. If you move your mouse to the bottom of the screen and go to the left, there's a microphone button. You can click there to unmute yourself. So maybe I can do it. There you go. I've unmuted.
I got it on mine.
Yeah.
Hi, I just lost the screen. Like I was in a Zoom meeting yesterday, but I can't see. I've lost the video. I think I pushed video because I was going to show my face.
I can see your face. I can see you talking.
I can see my face. I can't see any of you.
I can see you, but I can't see mine.
I just as soon not see mine.
Which is fine.
So how do I get it back?
Check to make sure that the blue camera icon that you've clicked on that.
I have no controls.
Do you see my screen?
I'm seeing a blank screen that says Zoom leads G2 crowd. That's all I see.
Yeah. Look down at the bottom. Scroll your arrow down all the way to the bottom of your computer.
Yeah.
And there should be a meetings control and a Zoom cloud meetings. You want to be on the meetings control tab.
I don't see any of that.
I do not see that. Where is it?
Are you seeing?
I don't know what you pushed, but now
it's like because you can't see my screen. I'm trying to point it out on my screen that you should hopefully all see.
Where's your screen?
We want this one.
Now I see you.
Meeting control.
So you want to have the meetings control one. So,
Just when you think you understand, then.
yep. Then we learn more, right? The moment you finally get it, then we get more. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4,
That's
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We got lots in. We got tons. Welcome, everybody. Glad you can join us. We're at 22 participants right now.
awesome.
Where's the load up thing?
So Katie, let me know when we're ready to go. I'll mute everybody and then turn it over to you.
I add something to the chat right now. People coming in who may be able to access those. I believe so.
I think so. Is there already stuff on the chat? Those of you that have joined in, if you want to click down in the bottom where the chat feature is and open that up for yourself, we will be moderating as we go through this, looking at the chat. If you have other questions, go ahead and unmute your mic and be able to ask that out loud, but we're going to monitor the chat as Katie is going through this.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you do chat, I just tried to type something in there. Does it automatically show up in the feed, or do you have to push something?
You have to hit enter when you're done. Type it in, then hit enter, and then it will show
I
up.
don't see where
There it is.
on the keyboard.
Too bad students don't have a
there
mute
we
button.
go. Okay.
Yes, too bad you can't actually do that to your students in real life. Yes.
The 3 dots.
Okay.
Where?
Not the problem there.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone now. I think there's enough unmuted that it's kind of the voice feedback is lagging. So I'm going to mute everyone. And then that should hopefully keep, as more and more people are unmuted, it takes up more bandwidth and kind of slows things down. So I'm going to mute you, but if you have a question, go ahead and pop out or write it in the chat feature. And I'm now going to stop sharing and let Katie take this over. So here we go.
Am I unmuted now? I think I'm unmuted. Okay. So this is just an example class that we set up. One thing that someone asked is when they go in as a student, they see the Hobble Creek class. That's because that was a kindergarten example that we shared on Monday. So that's just the example one that we let you guys join. I don't know if there's a way to remove yourself as a student from a class. Does anyone know? So I don't know, but that's that class. That's the Hopper Creek one. That was the example that someone made that we shared with you guys. So the first thing, some of you asked about adding students. Someone asked, is there a way to get around sending out that code? And no, that's how Seesaw keeps it private. And one thing that we did notice, if you sent out the code with it for them to sign in with Google, if they didn't sign in by Monday, they will need a new code. So that code is only valid for 7 days. That's just part of their security features. So if they didn't sign in by Monday, you will need to give your students that haven't signed in a new code. Another thing, someone asked how to add their principal. I would give them that same letter. So let me go ahead and minimize this part. It's in my way. Where can I move people? Add them as a co-teacher. Okay, if you want to add your principal as a co-teacher, you can click on this wrench. And here's how you can change the name of your class. Here's how you manage teachers. So you can go ahead and invite your principal here. And then they can look and see everything. We recommend having it go through the student's email, not the parent's email, especially because a lot of our kids are signing in with Chromebooks. And so when they're signing in, it's just easy for them to click sign in with Google. So I would have them sign in with their student email, not their parent's email. Okay, now to create some assignments. Okay, so the first thing is click this green add button, assign activity. Now my library, this is the stuff that you've liked or you've added, and the community is where you can go out and find a whole bunch of different activities. So I can scroll down, I can search for certain things. It already has it on first grade. I can change it to all grades, keep it on first grade, type in my topic. Here are popular ones right here that you can look through. You can click on one that you like, and then if you just want to save it for later, you can push the heart and then it'll show up in your library. Or you can click on assign. So if I click on assign, I will look at my classes. This is a class I'm going to play with today. So I can click on the class, and over on the right, here's some more features. So I can edit students, edit folder, edit skills. So if I click on that, I'm like, oh, I only want this to go to Greg. So this is how we differentiate. Another thing is folders. The folders doesn't keep it organized in the way that the students see the activities when they're doing them. It's just when they've completed their assignments, it will go into this folder. And so when the students click on their name to see their work, it'll be in a folder, but it's not going to keep it organized in the activities tab. And then the green check mark. So now I have it going to one student and it's going to go into one of their folders. And I'm going to hit assign. I can also schedule, and I could schedule it to go out on a certain date. You cannot schedule something, it's going to show up on that date and it's going to be there until they finish it. You can't assign something for like a whole week. It'll just be there until they're done with it. And I can also view it in my class. And if I want to see it how the student sees it, I can click add response. This was a different one. Add response. Oops. If I click on this one, add response, why isn't it letting me do the sample student? I gave you all this pigeon one. Usually if I do add response, I get the option to see it as a sample student. I don't know. We'll get back to that. Another thing is when you are assigning, you can go to the community, look at activities or in your own library, and I can like some. And after I like them, when I click on them, I can go down to these three dots and I can add to a collection. So I can create a collection if I'm preparing in advance. So I can be like, okay, these are going to be my Tuesday. These are just random dates. They're not really the real dates. I'm going to create this collection and now I'm going to put everything that I want to go out on Tuesday in there. Okay. So you can just kind of organize your thinking before you assign it out. So then it's these three dots, add to collection, make your collection. I want this to be on Wednesday, maybe just as you're planning. Now creating in Seesaw. So when you're in my library, and you can click on create new activity and put a title. This is just my example. I can type instructions. There's the page, let's see if I can find it, on our website. And if you go to General Online Tools, this is where all of our Seesaw resources are. And if you scroll down, it says icon shortcuts for Seesaw. And if I scroll down some more, if I want them to see what they're actually going to click on, I can use these shortcuts so that those icons appear in the instructions. So I'm sure if you've looked at different activities, Like here's an example, you can see how they showed their kids exactly what to click on. And when you're putting it in, all these things are not my way. When you're putting it in, it will look just like the shortcut, but when you go and publish it, it will add the icon. You can then read the instructions to your students, and you can add multimedia instructions or examples. So this is just what the students are going to watch. They're not actually going to do anything with it. So you can add a photo, you can add a drawing, you could record a video in here, you can add a link, you can upload something from your Google Drive or your computer, but that's just what the students are going to view. And a lot of the activities that you've seen have the students dragging and dropping things or manipulating or writing on things in various ways. This is where you would create that part. I have made a few videos that Miles will put in the chat. Miles already put them in the chat that you can go back and watch how to make activities for your students. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this one, and I'm going to do one from scratch. So I click on drawings. You can add shapes. You could create your sort. Anything that you don't want the students to move, you will lock. Anything you want them to move, you don't lock so that they can move them or move it later. So I'll just put in a dog. So if I lock this, they won't be able to move it. If I leave this unlocked, the students will click on this finger and then they will drag it into whichever category it fits in. So if I put a title up here, then I would want to make sure that I lock that so that it stays there. Then I'm going to hit the check. And now save. And now it's going to be in my activity library, and I can go ahead and assign it to my students. You can also, oops, I shouldn't have hit that. I don't know what Charles just said. So you can also start from a file that you have. Just remember, if you're adding something like from your Google Drives and you've made a Google slide, whatever is there is just going to be the background, and they're not going to be able to manipulate anything. So it's just the backdrop. So if you want them to move and drag and drop, you can upload from your Google Drive or a PDF, but then in Seesaw, add your labels or your pictures on top of it so that they can move them. We have created a spreadsheet. Sorry, some of these things get in the way. We have created a spreadsheet where teachers can share their resources. So if you're wanting to share your resource here or get resources here, I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go back to Seesaw. So I'm in my library. I can click on an assignment. Down here with these three little dots, I'm going to click on them. And here's how I can copy someone else's activity and edit it for myself. And here's how I can share the activity. Once I click on Share Activity, I click on Get Activity Link, and now it's copied. And I can go back over to this document and I can paste it. And it's there for everyone else to click on. Notice down here, I think we might need to look at that. We might need to delete a couple of these sheets. There's kindergarten language arts, kindergarten math, first grade, second grade down here. So click on the tab that relates to you and the subject that you're working on and put your activities in or look for activities. Let's say I like this activity and I want to look at it. So I click on the link. Now I'm going to click Save Activity. And now, let's see if it saved it to my library. So that didn't work. So let me try again. Here's the activity, save activity. And maybe that's what someone was talking about. So when you click on it, what if we, do any of you know what I should try? I'm clicking save activity. When I did it earlier, it worked, but this time it's not working. Save activity. How do I find it? But I was just saving it. I'll try a different one. See, that one worked. So I don't know why that other one did not work. And now I can go ahead and assign it. Let's say I like most of it, but I want to change it. I can go and copy it, and I'll show you that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and assign this one. But here's how I can copy and edit. Let's say I just don't like their instructions and I want to change them. You can copy it and edit it. So, or add in your own verbal instructions or something like that. So I'm going to assign this to that class. I'm going to assign it. I'm going to view it in my class. Now if I don't want it, again, these 3 little dots, and I can delete the activity. And it's just deleting it from this class. It will not be deleted from your library. So now it's no longer available for them to do. As long as the students are getting on every day, their activities will show up in this activities tab. So you'll want your students to go to the activities tab. And when they have completed the activity, it will move over to their journal. Someone asked about they're assigning the same thing each day. You will need to assign it each day. There's no workaround between, like, I don't know. You're going to have to assign it every day. One idea that someone had said was if it's the same thing every day, editing the title and making one for Monday, one for Tuesday, one for Wednesday, one for Thursday, one for Friday. That way, if they don't sign in every day and they log in and they've missed a day, they can see, well, this one was the Monday iReady, and this one was the Tuesday iReady, and this one was the Wednesday iReady, rather than just seeing the same assignment 3 times. And then you can just every week assign that same Monday one on Monday, that same Tuesday one on Tuesday. I'm trying to look at the list again and see if there's anything. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, you delete it. Oh, unassign it from one student? I don't know that there's a way to unassign it from one student. You'd probably have to delete it and then reassign it to all the other students. I just did.
Someone said they had a student that didn't show the check mark. They put in a video and writing, showed the check mark to turn it in. I haven't seen that before. So I said, we'll talk about it, get back to them.
I don't know.
It says go slow for showing how to differentiate for certain students.
Do you want me to do that again? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go to add, assign activity. I'm going to go to the community and find something. Let's say I want to do the animal research activity. I'm going to click on it. Then when I click assign, I'm going to click on my class. And then over here it says edit students. I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to uncheck all of them. And I'm just going to select the students I want that to go to. And then click the green check mark.
You also click on the top button, probably everyone, and uncheck the ones you don't want.
Yeah, if you want everyone and you're just not assigning it to a couple people, you could do it that way too. So it depends on if you're assigning more than half or less than half, which way you want to do that.
How do they video themselves?
How do you video yourself? So that would, you would create an activity. So I'm going to go to my library. Is this the teacher video or the student video?
Shannon asked it, so Shannon is this teacher.
I'm not on the chat.
Just say Shannon.
Are you going to pay attention? Shanna, are you wanting it from the teacher end or the student end?
Sorry, student end.
From the student end. So you create an activity, then title it, give them the instructions, and then if you don't put a template in, they will have, let's see if I can show it. They will have all of these options. So you just give them the instructions up here to record a video, and then it'll pop up for them to choose how they want to respond. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you.
Let me, yeah, I can create one, and then Greg can show what it looks like. Let me just look at this. What did it say? Video. Okay. I changed the name, but it's okay. Record a video. And then I'm going to save it and assign it to this class. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then Greg will show from his screen.
Okay, so I'm in the class. Here's the activity that just came for the video. I need to turn my microphone on. Okay, can you hear me? Am I on now? All right. So I'll click on the response. You might want to mute yours, Katie. Thanks. And now I have the option here to video myself for the students. They come in. However, I can't actually show that right now. Will it work that way? Okay. Okay, stop my video. Okay, let's try this again. Hey, there we go. Awesome. So from here, then I can record my video and say, here's my attendance. I'm turning in. Yay, good job. Click done. And now I can review it. If not, put it as a draft. I can redo it or turn in the check. You also, in these activities, this microphone here, when you click on it to record yourself, will also record your screen. It's recording everything that you're doing when you do that. So I can talk, I can draw my things, I can do my typing, and it's recording all of this as I do it. And that, so you can turn those into your teacher that record your screen. Okay, those answer some of those questions. I'm going to turn it back over to Katie.
So something someone else had asked about the activities in the library, those are just from the Seesaw ambassadors. So that's why we created the spreadsheet so that we could share resources within the Nebo teachers.
Hello, I'm on. Am I on? Yes, okay. So someone asked a question about removing a student made a response, and I'm trying to delete that activity, but there's a student response to it, so I cannot remove the activity. Let me hide that for a minute. So yes, you can do that. So if I come back to the journal tab, I can see my students and the different posts they've made. So let's say, just for fun, here's Abby. She made this in response to read, and I want to remove that activity from my classroom, but she's the only one. I have a couple kids who might have responded to that. Like, oops, I want to change something to it. So you're going to click on the journal, click on their name, come down. We're going to scroll down a little bit, get out of the way. There we go. And the three little ice cream scoops that fell over, click on the three dots, and there is a way to delete item. So click on the journal, click on the student's name, find the activity you want to delete, the three ice cream scoops, click on delete item, it says, are you sure? Yes, let's delete it. And now that that's gone, you can go back to your activities and you can go through the same thing, click on the 3 dots and delete the activity. This is the same thing you might want to do if a student doesn't do the assignment correctly. You're like, hey, that's not even close to what you're doing, or maybe they answered the wrong question. You can delete that activity, and that way it'll pop up for the student in the activities button, and they can redo that assignment for you.
You can also give feedback and unsubmit.
Cool.
I think. Let's go ahead and look at that. So,
I'll let you.
is my microphone on?
Yes.
Okay, I think I'm going to turn off. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my class.
I'll stop sharing and you can take over. You're good?
Oh, yes.
I'll do that. It's okay.
Okay. So now I have these activities and they're waiting for for teacher approval. I can click review. And there's also an option to approve them all. You can go ahead and listen to them. But let's say I look at Greg's and I don't think he did a good job. I can add a comment and say, oh, you forgot to answer the question. And you can post the comment and then you can send it back to him. And then he gets the comment and he knows what he needs to fix. And then I think he can do the assignment again. Yeah. Do you want me to stop sharing and you can?
So I'll go back to my, is my mic on? Okay, I'll go back to my activities. And am I in the right class? My journal. Inbox. Do I need to refresh? Maybe I need to refresh. There's inbox. Okay, in my inbox
Okay.
notifications, here it is. She sent, here's my comment to me and it's been sent back for review. So now it's back in my draft. I can edit it. And I can now come back in.
Can you redo it?
It's the play video. Should be able to. Let's try it again from here. Edit the item, right? Caption. Why doesn't it let me delete this?
So maybe you would just have to delete it just like Charles did, but you can also do it from the student end.
Yeah. I like. So delete the item, then go back into my activities, and then redo the response. Okay, so that's the way we'll want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and let me put this out this for everyone. This question's been asked a few times. A teacher's been saying that when the students come in, this green check mark is not there, or it doesn't turn green for them. Has anyone seen that? Know the way to work around it? The teacher asked that question. The teacher said that there's been a video and typing in the student response part, and that's not been there. Anyone experience that? If not, we will keep looking into it. And
it may have been something that she did on her end, Greg, that
it may have
she
been
did wrong. I just don't know how to help her.
Yeah.
Because it's not showing up as completed or anything on my Seesaw.
Maybe let's get her. We'll set up a Zoom meeting where we can talk with her and you and be able to see her screen, and maybe we can figure it out from there. Does that work, Christelle?
Sorry, yes, that's great.
Okay, perfect.
We talk about how we get someone else's and save it.
Yeah.
I'm still on.
Okay.
I'll take a little bit for a second. Okay. That's what we talked about. Show me again.
Oh, you muted me. There we go. So let's talk for just a second. If someone sends you a Seesaw link, or you are using our Seesaw activity links, let's say you're a first grade teacher, here's first grade math, I'm gonna click on it. Hey, here's one that someone put in there. I can click on that link, or again, you can email this to your teacher friends. Oop, that file's not found. Let's not use that one then. Let's go back to kindergarten. So here we go, subtraction strategies. I'll click on it. Let's open this link. And there is a magic save activity button. So when you click on save activity, notice that I'm already logged into Seesaw. That's helpful. In a different tab. It will now save that activity to my library. Let's go back. Yeah, and here it is. So this is a nice way then to share activities with teachers across the district. And again, that spreadsheet is on our Nebo, our Nebo Digital Coach at Home Learning Resource. There you go. Next question. Other questions from the chat? That's right.
Also, someone mentioned in the chat that if you have a bunch of tabs open of Seesaw and you're trying to save the activity, it may not work as well. So close a bunch of your tabs so you only have your class tab open, and then go and save the activity. And they said that that seemed to help. So
true enough, because I only had this, I had a couple of different ones open. I've already saved that link, this subtraction strategy, so it probably gave me a weird message. Let's try a different one just for fun. Here's our writing. I'll click on it, open it up, and save activity. And it should take me, there we go, into my library. That's what it should look like. Yep, so I had too many tabs open. Great one, Drew, thank you.
I asked this question, but I realized my mic was off. If there's any questions we missed from the feed as they scrolled up and that kind of went, some of them went pretty quick. If we haven't answered your question, will you please re-type that in the feed or unmic yourself and ask it?
Yeah. Hey, Christelle. So we haven't tried that one yet as coaches. We're just trying to get some of those more basic features pushed out to teachers, getting them there. We will look into that blog feature, and we can do another class, another Zoom on that one. All right, let's talk about assigning something. So I'm just going to go back to my classroom. And so I'm going to click on the magic plus button when I'm in there. I'm going to assign an activity. The post-student work is like if you were at school and someone made this really cool art project and they weren't there the day that you were actually posting to Seesaw, you could do this for them as a teacher. I could click post-student work. I could do whatever was asked, like say it was a drawing. I would draw something nice. I could click the little green check marks and say, oh, this was supposed to be for maybe for Amanda. Or maybe as a picture, something I can take a picture of her artwork, and then I could just click the green check mark, and that will upload it for her into her journal. Like it was, right there it is, says Amanda Shepard just posted that. But if you're adding just an activity for your class, I'm gonna click the plus button. I'm going to go to Assign Activity. And this is the fun part. You have your library that shows up. These are your most recently viewed activities. But you also have the community, which has a lot of activities. That is from the higher paid version. That's not part of our free. So yeah, everything in your library is private to you. If you have that upgraded version, you can post to the community. To assign an activity, let's go down and say, I want to do, how about this parts of a plan? So I'm going to click the Assign button. I'm going to choose which class do I want to assign it to. So I'm going to choose this sample class. And again, Katie mentioned that if you want to differentiate and say, I want to assign this to just a few of my kids, there's the Edit Students or Folders Skills. Skills is part of it. Again, another upgraded version. But I could just click on Edit Students, choose whoever I want to assign this to. If I want to assign it to everyone, great, I don't need to worry about it. But just check that class, scroll to the bottom, and I can assign it to the class. If I want to schedule, I'm going to try that right now. Say, here's my schedule. Maybe this is for tomorrow. I'm sure you're already done for today. I'll just click on it and say, choose a specific date. I can click on the 25th. Notice, one thing to notice in Seesaw is their calendar starts on Monday. That's something to pay attention to. But let's say I want to start this on the 26th, and I want this to go to maybe about 8 a.m. And oh, look at this. See, one thing, so I just click on those down arrows. It's going to kind of mess those up. But don't worry. You can just click on that little box and change that to 8 o'clock straight up. Not a problem. And now let's say, oh, I'm ready to go. Assign on the date, 26th, 8 a.m. Be careful, that's a.m., not p.m., where your students won't see it. And then click the Submit button. So again, that activity will post to this classroom, and it even tells me again, quick reminder, March 26th, 8 a.m. Sounds great. Click that box, and it says, all right, we're here to go. I can go back to my classroom, and here we go. It shows. Thanks, right? So these are assigned. There's the scheduled button and say, here's what's coming out tomorrow. It even reminds me, hey, there it is, the 26th, 8 a.m. That's ready to rock. You bet. I will click on my journal.
1 second too. That scheduling an assignment is a premium feature. So if you don't have it, when you click on the schedule button, it'll say, do you want to have premium features for 60-day free trial? Just click yes. It's not going to ask for any information or any credit card or anything like that, but you definitely want the 60-day free trial of scheduling assignments.
You got it. Go back to journal. Class journal. You got it.
Drew, this is to answer your question. So click where it says class journals, the 72 items, click there. Yeah, click on the actual folder. Sorry, click on
the folder. Got it.
There you go. This is how you can see where your folders are and what's inside of them, Drew. You said, where do you see your folders after you've put them in? Here's all the folders that you can look at. So if you go to the journal and click on the folder, it will bring up all of your folders.
March 23rd, and here's all the responses. Love it. Love it, love it. Maybe we can go back real quick. I'm gonna show them how you add a folder. So I'm gonna go to the plus button and go to Assign Activities. Here we go. When I scroll down, you're gonna see there's some collections. I have a March 23rd. There's a collection there, some items not in collections. Those are cool, right? Yeah, they're different. They're different. But let's say when I create a new activity, I can dump it in a folder right then. If I don't have it in a folder, this one was going to go out tomorrow, right? So I'm going to click on it again. Let's assign it. I'm going to choose that class again. And then this is where I can edit students and the folders and skills. So I'll click on that link. And now it says, here's my students I want to go to. Great, everyone. Here's my folders. So I'm going to click on it, and now I can say this is going to be for March 26th. So put it into that folder. If you don't have a folder, just keep scrolling down and you can create a folder. So I just created a few folders for the different days of the week. and that way, and say, okay, here's my first week. Let's change the colors. That's, you know, because they're cute. You got to do that. I'm going to create a new folder, and let's call this March 31st. My daughter's birthday, 31st. I can choose the color right there. She likes pink, so I'll give it pink for her, and then click the green little check mark right here. There we go. And when you create a new folder, notice that it naturally puts in, checks that box for you. It says, yep, put this in a new folder. That's just kind of cool. I like it. If I don't want it, I can just uncheck it pretty easily. If I do want it, I can put it in multiple folders. That's okay if it's maybe a project you're due for different days. Good, Rick, great question. Yeah, I haven't found a way. Yeah, I'm sure like this would be so awesome if we could just dump things into a folder, all those activities into a folder, and assign an entire folder. I would wish we could do that. I haven't found a way to do that yet. Great question, because that would make it so nice. Okay.
So the reason you can't do that is, so far what we found is both in collections and in folders, those are organizations for teachers. So if you put it in a collection, that's a place for you to find it as a teacher. The folder is where a student will turn it in for you to have it organized as a teacher, but there's not a way to assign it to the class in the folder, if that makes sense. We haven't found that option, haven't found a way to do that yet. There's ways to organize it for the teacher, but there's not a way to organize it for the students. That's why we like the scheduling feature. That's your best way to organize it for the students, that it comes at a specific time for them. That answer that question?
It's a good one, Drew. Is there anything else? You just check in the chat, anything that we didn't cover? And okay, I think this is probably a good time to sign out. Take it, Greg.
Okay. Last thing we'll let you know is, if you got in here late and didn't get to see it all, or if you want to go back and see it again, we have a web channel, a YouTube channel for our Nebo digital coaches. And we've put every video we ever make pretty much ends up in there. And we are also created a playlist for Zoom recordings. So all of our Zoom meetings that we do with our recordings will also end up on YouTube. So you can be able to go back and watch them there. All right, everyone, have a great day. You got this.